see here. Should be back up and running. Should be back up and running. All right. That's more like it. That's more like it. If you can hear me and you're back, let me know in the chat. The We're definitely going to have a better stream this. So I am going to delete that last one forever. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Testing, testing, testing. Yeah, we will get this right. This is good. Yeah, you hear me. Yep. Cool. And you're way less delayed too. There's going to be a tiny bit of a delay, which is okay. As long as you're looking at your screen and listening to me at the same time. Obviously, when you're trading, you're going to be looking at some sort of screen to trade, right? But the delay is a lot better. Turn yours up for a second. Go to my channel. I ended the stream and started a new one. That's why. In the time that you left. But I want to make sure that this is all caught up. Looking pretty good. Yeah, that's way better. There's like a second delay, a 2-second delay, and that's not bad. Yeah, perfect. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Finally, we were starting to get things normal around here. Took a little bit. You know, when you're not used to this stuff, it's tough. The important part is that we got the charts up, we got the strategy going, we got everything involved. I'm incorporating a little bit of EMAs to my strategy as well, and I'm dropping down to the 1 minute time frame. It's going to be a lot better in the long run, and everything's going to be awesome. All right, let me tell the people in the Discord we're live on YouTube. Now we're just waiting for orb to form. My chart in the way the live looks is pretty much dead on now. There's a bit about a 1 to 2 second delay. Like it's really not anything that's crazy. And this is kind of perfect for what we want. Fair value gap down here. Maybe another one somewhere in here. Perfectly fine by me. We have clearly taken, to the downside. There's tons of liquidity and draws on liquidity up top, which is good to know. We want to keep an eye on these things, but I don't want to overrun our strategy with it. What I will be expecting this to push its way up and then back down. That's what I would be expecting. Push its way up first. It could pull back in the zone now and then bump out. But what we're also going to do is we're also going to mark our mid orb I got a video coming out today about this as well, so you could check my videos on YouTube here, and there'll be a video exactly how I use what I'm using right now. For now, you could see this. This is just part of the fib, and you know, there's potential entries from here up as well. Let's see how it reacts because I'd rather it pop out of the zone first before I take an entry off of this midpoint. I'd rather see it pop out. And if it pops out, I don't need to see a ton of stuff happen. What I need to see happen is this, right? If it doesn't pull back, I'm not getting in. If it doesn't, give a nice pullback, reject the zone, I'm not getting in this play. It has to reject and then has to keep going. Accounts disrupted. Nah. Actually don't mind the way I played the open today because when you're looking at the losses, you don't have any real issues with losing $30, period, right? If it drops fast, then you're good, right? Can you hear any of that? Okay. That's what. I'm talking to you. I'm not. I don't need to be though, right? Let's see this bad boy run. Not a lot of volume at the moment. Huh? What do we got for news on the docket here? We got some news coming up? I think so. The only thing is keep getting rid of everything because of the shutdown. So I don't know. Ow. Smack my elbow. What is it? Are you sure? For today, they moved Jolt's job openings till today? Calendar. No, today is okay. So yeah, I have so much shit up on this one because I don't have my settings saved on this. Yeah, Jolt's opening. Wow. And then Trump, what? Where's Trump at 7 p.m.? I'm sure he'll tweet something today that, gets the people going. We basically want to wait for this news now. We're good though. We're good to you know, figure it out. We are good to figure it out. Basically, this is a waiting game, right? We're just sitting around waiting. One's my leader. Yep, just a waiting game. We're breaking the zone now, but we want to see it come back. And we got news in 10 minutes. So we got to be a little careful, but we want to see a pullback. Whoops. I want to see a nice pullback into the zone. Good area for this. Somewhere in there. Everything to me is lined up with going up now. These have crossed. It's given us an uptrend now. We're looking for this to pop out of the zone, come back a little bit, and then we get to take this bad boy up. You guys have any questions when you're on here, just drop them in the chat. Have the chat open the entire time. Yep, just basically a waiting game here. We gotta wait and see what our move is gonna be. But what we want to see is we want to see this thing pop out, hold the zone, then pull back, and then we can get into play. Right? That's what we want to see. So whether it's a long or a short, it doesn't really matter in the long run. But we want to see one of those two things happen. Either pop out the bottom, pull back. But I want to see because this mid range here is a perfect area, right? So if this mid range can become a part of it after on a secondary entry area, then it's a much bigger play, right? But that doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen, right? Right now, we're basically playing off of this right here, this candle right here, and it's likely going to move up from there, from that candle there. I don't think it'll get back down to this one, but it might. It might pull back down to this one and then push up. I still think we have too much areas of liquidity up top, so we still, in my opinion, will go up, but it all depends on what it does. Because I'm not gonna bury my bias. I'm gonna react to the chart. Yep, Lucid and Tradeify are goaded. Yesterday's Tradeivate issues that we had, they actually. So I ended up losing $500 across five of my Lucids, and they returned that money because of the outages and the glitches that was happening. Um, it did screw me up in the morning. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I still, you know, I'm grateful that they gave it back. That's for sure. What's happening here? My orb went away. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna get rid of this for now because we. Whoops. Why does that keep happening? Keeps happening. Let's do this for 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. One second. Here you go. One second. One second. One second. Let's see if this can come back. There we go. We're back. Are we back? Yeah, we're back. How is everybody doing? How you guys doing? Are we in anything yet? No, we're not in anything yet. I'm waiting for this thing to pop out the zone. You again, this is one of those things, right? You're starting to get this curl of the EMAs. You're starting to really push down. I want to get rid of this. So why does this keep giving me something else? There you go. All right, cool. So I want to see um, an actual push out or something first before I would take this. But if this does reject that zone, this is technically, that's all you need in a play right there. So that is technically a decent little play. And look how small that is on a scale of things that we got on the screen. If you're risking 3 to 5 points on ES to make 15 versus, risking 40 or 30 on NQ to make 100, right? There's a much, you know, smaller window, but I shouldn't say smaller window, but a much smaller scale of things that you really need to get and need to see on ES versus NQ to get, the same or better money. It's a little bit more smoother in my opinion, but I do, however, like the volatility that you see in NQ. But this is potential. Um, I'm not gonna take this yet because I'm not gonna worry about it because in 3 minutes we have or 2 minutes we have news. But this is a very decent option generally speaking. It's rejecting this zone, and then if it displaces out of this zone somewhere there, you can easily take that up. Even here, I want to see what happens with the news and go from there. I've figured out my mic settings and all that stuff, so you guys should have a much better time hearing me, but at the same time, not hear any of the background noise that because I was watching some of the videos back, and the static and noise in the background is crazy. It's been a little bit of a rough go to get this all set up, but it's all set up now. Even the delay is a lot better. I didn't realize it was a setting that I was setting too, where the delay was like 20 seconds behind. 20 seconds on the chart is a long time. Right now, it's only about 2 seconds. 2 seconds is nothing. We just hang out. We just wait. There's no sense in touching anything until this 10 a.m. news now, especially. We got our zone. Yep. It's kind of pushed down further than I wanted it to. I want to see. Just set right on the lines. Cool. Let's go ahead and lock this in. There's the news, right? That's a pretty big wicking candle here, especially for ES. That's our whole play basically right there. That's all I need in a play. That's a pretty big news candle. For ES. If you're looking at NQ, it's probably ripping one way or the other. This is now giving us opportunities to see what's to the downside, right? Um, 10 o'clock. Cool. See what kind of areas we got here. Obviously, we got a range down here. I want to see what it looks like on the 15, right? We got areas where we want to be looking right here. To the one. Now it's flipped to the downtrend, right, guys? It's flipped to the downtrend. So what are we waiting for? We're waiting for this thing to push out the bottom, give us a retest, and then keep going. Another thing I could see happening now as well is if this doesn't break out of the zone, we have to see what happens off the tap of this. Either push through this and keep going or stop here and keep going. We don't need a lot of points. We do not need a lot of points. We can get our position somewhere here again. Look, to the bottom of orb or to the top of orb. That's a lot of points for us on ES especially. Trading ES versus NQ for one mini, I'm risking $250 or a 5 point stop loss. I'm getting away with about a 3 point stop loss on two minis. So that's still $300 I'm risking to make $1,500. That's my goal. So with every three losses, one win scratches all of it. So if you guys look what's happening right now, didn't quite make it to the bottom of orb. I would still rather see this actually tap than to turn around right there if it's going to turn around. But let's see. This is what the EMAs are going to come in handy for too, right? Because if you come up here, reject this zone, you could take that down from there, potentially get a bigger move. Right now, we're still ranging in the zone. All about patience. All about, you know, spending our time waiting for the right move versus jumping in too early on the wrong move. That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. There was a potential top of orb rejection, but now look, we're looking at bottom of orb here right now, bottom of the opening range. See what happens, right? I want to see this pull back, give us an opening somewhere there. Tons of room here for this to actually happen, but I'd like to see it pull back to the exact spot. And if this pulls back off of bottom orb, now what I could see happening is this. And if that happens, we're laughing because we'll probably end up getting the full double. I want to see it close outside the zone before I make a decision. But what I would like to see happen, something like this, and then hit through there. That's what I could see happening. That's what I would like to see happen at this point. If this pulls up to here, I'll be looking at that entry now as well. As long as it rejects this area, only time will tell. Only time will tell. What are you guys trading this morning? What currency? What indice, currency, commodity? Are you guys following me with ES? Potentially a pullback right there. Not terrible. I'm going to enter this if it gives me a push down here. I want to see it push down actually pretty good though. That's a pretty decent pullback. I'm going to wait until this candle closes though. I want to see actually what happens with it, and then we'll go from there. There's room to the downside, but I want to see this actually continue. If it's going to continue, right? No, I'm going to wait. I'm waiting on this. I'm waiting on this. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm holding off. Yeah, good call. This could slap you out. So I'm going to wait for this now. I need some sort of retest. What I'm hoping happens is this can pull higher up into here so that we can get the full drop. That's what I'm hoping happens. I don't like that it didn't push with power right away, but if I miss a little bit of this move for it to come back, I'm okay with that. I don't want to get burned on the first play just because I'm antsy to get into a play. If it would have pushed out or made a 3 bar, I would have been happy with it, but probably got a, area here. There's a 3 bar. That's a pullback right there, but we need to see a little push for this and then it come back. There's been no push at all yet. This is exactly what I want to see. And this is how we would have got burned on the first play, right? Say potentially we took this like we would normally take this, right? Say potentially we took that. No matter what your stop is right here, you're getting stopped out. We faded a good job there. I'd still like to see this push up further, but I am looking to take a continuation now out of the zone if it happens. All right. If it happens, I'm looking to take a continuation out of the zone. But it's got to happen with like you know, a forceful play or a 1-2 punch. You know what I mean? I want to see a continuation from there. I don't want to see this thing drop right away, but I want to see a continuation candle after this. And this is how we save our money, right? You guys notice we're fading these plays just by staying calm, not caring about missing a couple of points. Watch this pull back right to where I want it to, right? Maybe it doesn't, but maybe this is the time where we get a better entry. Because if this closes outside the zone now in 20 seconds, and then we get a continuation candle, I'm jumping, right? This is 3 bar down-ish, right there. 9 seconds, I want to see a continuation. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Get ready for continuation. And I'm in. I am in this. If it taps me now, it taps me now because we did our due diligence, right? We look for a new entry, but I believe this looks pretty good. We faded the original pullback. Let's see what happens. Not a lot of risk on the table, so we're okay. There we go. My entry is on the board, but it's at 2,375. I don't want this to pull back too much now. I want this to 3 bar down, if anything. I want this to 3 bar down, if anything, now. Let's see this thing push a little bit further. We're almost at our break even point. I am break even now, guys. I'm break even. I'm break even. I'm break even. I am break even. No, it'll be both. Your ATM settings have both break even. Yeah, but there's two there. I like what we got going on here. I want to see this continue, obviously, but I want to see it with force. Don't worry about my position on the thing. It just canceled my connection for whatever reason, but that's fine. I want this to keep going. Do not want this to pull back. If it stalls and then drops again, I'm good, but I don't want this to pull back. I'll consider getting out of this if it starts to pull back too much. And I want this to run right down for us. This candle should run right down for us. Just push right through the boundaries. Go. I'm dragging one of my stop losses to 19. Here we go. I want to see this continue on with force. We can get to 13. We'll have our moving stop loss with us. And now I'm moving my stop loss in, moving both of them to 15. Still in this, running. I want to see this start pumping down here. Now my stop loss is trailing right behind. To give none of this back, my stop loss is at 12. And I'm out. I'm out of the play. Banger. I'm out of the play. Banger of a play. You could stay in this if you don't put it too tight. But what a banger of a play. Banger of a play. Banger of a play. W's in the chat if you took that. W's in the chat if you took that. I know I did. I know I did. W's W. I hit some daily profit on a couple of them. I ended up with pretty decent looking mark here. I wonder how I can screen cap this. Let me see here. Let me screen cap this. Capture visible part. Uh, Selected area. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is exactly how we do it, right? Hmm? Daily profit triggers. Yes. So I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna post this. Put transparency up. See if it shows. There it shows. All right. So this is what I was able to end up with on the day across 15 accounts. Not a bad play at all. We waited for the pullback. We waited for all the things that we wanted to see. Um, your next position literally could be orb again. It could pull back to mid, somewhere in between these things. I'm personally done for the day. I'm one and done, and I'm not messing around. Let's just quickly recap what we looked for. We waited and we faded a lot of opportunities where we could have jumped the gun, but we didn't. So we waited for orb to fill. We waited for the opening range to settle itself, and then from there we watched the EMAs cross. We watched everything start to turn to the downside. Instead of taking the play right off of mid, we fully waited after news. This was news candle, right, at 10 o'clock. We waited for this thing to break the zone, but we didn't just wait and watch this little tiny candle retest. We waited for the actual pullback, and then we got in off of the actual confirmation candle of the continuation. And how did we jump the gun? Sure, we could have taken the full TP that we were looking for, but we didn't want to get faded just like this, right? Because we could have easily lost that play if we jumped too early. So the fact that we were able to take, you know, almost $1,000 across 15 accounts on my end, you know, that's exactly what a picture perfect day looks like when you relax yourself and actually take the time to make the right play instead of being over anxious, waiting to jump in anything that pops up, right? That being said, that's it for me today. I will catch you guys on stream every single day. I will be live at 9:35 a.m. Eastern, trading ES on the New York session. Ray from the OTR trading community. I'll see you guys tomorrow.